that's right. Chicken patties. The key to strength. What's up, losers without dates? Oh, dudes. Can dunk? I can dunk. I should microwave these first. Fuck. I'm like 6'2", I would not be able to dunk. Not that hard. It's like 10 feet. My nose. I have supreme. Yeah, sexy. I didn't say I was good at basketball. There's a difference between dunking and being good at basketball. Not bad. I don't really play anymore though. I played in high school, but I do at the gym for the Valentine. The best Valentine I can have. Never hurts me. Never lets me down. Pint of Haagen-Dazs, nice. Funny thing, Haagen-Dazs doesn't mean anything. The guy thought it sounded Danish who started it. It's bullshit words. Halo Top. There's some. One of them. They're manufactured partly in Madison here. Shit, taste. Yeah, Halo Top's good. I do see things kind of funny. A lot of people like buy it and just eat like pints at a time because they think it's like healthy, just because it has protein. Those are eating like a shit ton of calories. That's always funny. Y'all ready to watch me eat? How to deal with constantly changing goals in the gym. I don't have constantly changing goals. My one and only goal is to become Superman and be as strong as possible. Favorite go-to? Personally, Zerchers. If I was to recommend a go-to, back squats, high bar back squats. Now my goals are always the same, get as strong as possible. Pretty simple. I think that's the best goal you can possibly have. So frosty. Ah. Aha! Ooh. Burn my tongue. What are you all up to on this Valentine's Day, besides being losers without dates like me? Actually, I'm meeting a girl in a few hours, but you're too addicted to Zercher's Robert Frost. My girlfriend. Fucking get off this live stream then, Jesus. Get on with your girlfriend. She probably hates me. Joey Burns' girlfriend, I'm sorry. 12-hour shift, damn dude, that sucks. It's a shitty shitty draw. It ain't Haagen-Dazs with you. Marry that girl. Marry that girl. She puts up with you watching me and eats Haagen-Dazs with you. Keep her. For sure. Any lifting questions, anyone? But I might want speed dating, eh? I didn't know in the age of like Tinder people did that. She likes me now, good. Can't say I've ever gone speed dating though. It's kind of hard to convey yourself in like 2 seconds to someone. But too strong, I guess. The Tinder and Bumble stuff, kind of not a big fan for me personally. I mean, so impersonal. I guess you're like bad at speaking to people, or like kind of shy. It's probably good, but I'm okay talking to women at bars and stuff. It's hard to convey yourself over text message, I think, like sarcasm and stuff. What do you consider too much volume in a given session? I mean, that's really a personal thing. Basically, are you recovering from it? And are you getting stronger and or bigger, which one your goals are from it? If you're not, it's too much volume. It's hard to say. I think for myself, when I train with volume, and like currently I guess I'm doing some volume, I notice if I stop being able to put like 90 to 100% effort into a lift, I've probably gone off the deep end. I've done too much that day. If I started dicking around and like, or whatever, and I lose focus, I've probably done too much. That's just me personally though. Best way to progress on conventional deads. Work on your weak points, which for most people is usually off the ground. So deficit deadlifts are really good and have a lot of carryover. Doesn't have to be a huge deficit, just like a couple inches even. Spinal retro strength, working on hamstring glute activation. Hyperextensions are really good for that. Hamstring curls. 2:47 a.m. Germany. Go to bed. Jesus. I think you guys have the most medals now. I think you passed over in Germany, by the way. Yeah, you're not strong enough. Deadlifting patties. I just discovered this powerlifter on Instagram today. I think she's kind of famous. Let me find her real quick. Your face. Molly KM is her username. My God, I'm in love with her. She's thick. She's got a big ass deadlift too. Hold on. She does 500 for a double recently, which is fucking crazy. Yeah, she's strong as fuck. She's squatting like 4 plates, I think, too. Something like that. Fucking crazy. I'm in love. Any of you know her, hook me up. Make strong babies. Can you Bulgarian light for bench press? Yes. I did it with the football bar not too long ago, and incline dumbbell press, different, but works pretty good. I would honestly recommend doing like a double progression. So like, let's say start with 225 or whatever, depending on how strong you are. And let's say you can do 3 reps. The next day do 4, next day do 5, next day do 6. And you feel like you can't add a rep, drop back to 3, and bump the weight up. So like 235 for 3, and then 4, then 5, then 6, and then bump the weight, and then 255, whatever, who knows. Depends on the person. That's probably the best way to do it, honestly. Not necessarily hitting a 1 rep max with that, just for your shoulder's sakes. But yeah, definitely doable. Same with the rib press. For your Valentine, the barbell is my Valentine. Pretty lonely thing to say. No, I don't like Valentine's Day. I try to avoid it as best I can. Just like fucking every single person says, "Oh, it's commercial," and I don't like it. I don't think I've ever celebrated Valentine's Day. Most I've ever done for a girl, I think, is I made her like an origami flower. Thanks, Joy, man. Yeah, the song, it's not quite done yet, but once it's done, I'll upload the full song. It's got a pretty sweet solo at the end. Yeah, it's hard. Like, I did all the drums, the bass, both guitar parts. My buddy did the screaming and singing, but it's hard when you do all parts to like make it blend nicely, I think. Try to make it sound organic, but I think it did a pretty decent job. My right spinal erector is really dominant, and it has the strength in my left one. Cheated croc rows, also suitcase deadlifts, and Jefferson deadlifts. What's up, Robin? What makes you think it's dominant, your one spinal erector? Meme, it's either big or it's not. Nothing you can do about it. I guess maybe do weighted stretches with the barbell. There's like that Indian dude who like pulls trucks with his penis. It's quite weird. Like it attaches a harness somehow. How much can I bench? I don't know. I reverse grip bench 315 not too long ago, but quite weaker reverse grip bench. I've never done it before. I just wanted to top Allen thrall, basically. I still rarely press, other than when I was doing dumbbell presses and like I guess with his bodybuilding stuff. I really hadn't pressed seriously in like 3 years, so yeah, I had no idea where my bench would be. Like I bottoms up floor press 315 like 6 months ago on a whim, just like first day. So I actually trained bench. I think I'd be around 4 plates probably. I definitely feel my right one really pumped up and tight. Wow, left one. So it could be part of your hamstrings too, maybe hamstring activation and glutes not getting involved enough on the one side. But yeah, a good way to fix it is Jefferson's then, especially if you feel it during deadlifts. Could be nerve related. Your SI joint could be a little wonky, which usually presents itself as tightness on one side of the lower back. So maybe do if you YouTube search like SI joint self adjustment. A lot of people have SI joint issues. See if that helps. Like you said, you could have a dominant side. That's not super uncommon either, but you know, Jefferson's great. Really good imbalance fixer for deadlifts. Do some single leg deadlifts would be good too. Yeah, do you feel doing squats or anything, or just deadlift? That's my question. Do you feel that any other time besides deadlift? Should I get a strong squat before moving on to more single leg work like reverse lunges or Bulgarian split squats, or focusing on single legs that would be beneficial for raising my squat? I think you should do both. Depends how you're training, really. If you're doing Bulgarian style, get your two-legged squat up. If you're more normal style, try to make like all or most of your accessories with one leg. That's what most people should really be doing. Especially if you're an athlete, you should be doing a shit ton of single leg work. At the Cal Poly, their strength and conditioning program's kind of cutting edge, I guess you could say. I don't know if that's not the right word, but they treat like Bulgarian split squats as a main movement. So they'll do like 3 sets of 5 of Bulgarian split squats instead of back squats. And their program got a lot better and more athletic after they started like implementing that stuff. Just deadlifts. Yeah, try to do SI joint self-adjustment. See if that helps. Should you lay off deadlifts if you have a dominant side? Same problem with trap bar deadlifts. Not necessarily. You can often fix a problem with your accessory movements. Really depends what the issue is. Find out what's causing it first, and then maybe lay off if the issue is due to deadlifts, maybe deadlifting incorrectly. You know, there's always a reason behind things. You don't just like magically develop a dominant side for no reason. So assess why you have a dominant side, fix the why, and then, you know. Is reverse grip flat harder than regular incline? It felt for me more unstable. I don't know if it's harder necessarily, but yeah, it felt more unstable for me. The lockout I never got the lockout down. I think I'd have to actually practice quite a bit. I know some people are stronger reverse grip. I don't think I'm one of those people. But yeah, it never felt stable to me when I was doing it, I guess, was the issue for me. When it got heavier, I would always default to where like my normal bar, like a normal grip bench press would go. So like when I was light, I'd like almost touch like middle of my belly almost. When I get heavy, I default to like right below my chest, which was too high. So I don't know. Let's see. Upper back rounds on heavy Olympic grip front squats. Say weak back. Zerchers can be good. A lot of rows. Should be doing a shit ton of upper back work. A lot of rows. Wide grip, snatch grip rows. Really working on upper back strength, which is usually a limiting factor in front squats. Everyone thinks it's like weak quads, but it's usually 95% of the time a weak upper back that you're failing your front squats. Pause front squats are really good. It's one of the best things you can do. Lower the weight a little bit and just pause in the hole for like anywhere from 3 to 10 seconds. Make it real strong. I was thinking about training the single leg work as my main movement. I train full body 3 days a week, but I don't know if throwing out the squats for a while would hurt my leg development. It's not gonna hurt your leg development at all. It might hurt your squat strength potentially if you're like bracing is your issue. It really depends on where you're at, but not gonna hurt your leg development at all. Like if you're looking for just pure leg size or strength, you're probably better off doing single leg stuff. Why are marathon runners so skinny and sprinters more built? Are marathons burning muscle? Not really. They're not doing anything to build muscle. Like running long distances isn't gonna send signals to your body to build muscle, whereas sprinters do a lot of weight training. 100-meter sprinters, like a big portion of their training is spent in the gym, so that's why marathoners don't. They're pretty much when you're doing marathons, you're pretty much in the pure endurance side of the spectrum. So there's not a whole lot of reason to be weight training a bunch. Like I think they should do a little bit, but it's not going to do a whole lot. Like the more muscle you build, the more you have to carry, and the less efficient you become over long distances. I want to focus on Bulgarian split squats, but I'm assuming it wouldn't hinder full leg development. Yeah, not at all. The whole right side of my body is dominant, like pretty noticeably. I mean, you can do what I do. Like normally when I'm doing like croc rows, I just do one side. So just train the one side of your body for like a month. Just go fucking ham bone on the one side of your body. Boom. Not weak anymore. Simple. Advice on vertical jump. Want to dunk before I leave school. I have a video on increasing your vertical. Pretty much consists of a lot of box squats, working your hammies and glutes. But I have a video on it if you Google it. It's not super like, I just did it on a whim randomly. It's not like super concise, but it'll give you a general idea of how to improve your vertical in the gym. Is it normal to find it harder to balance on Bulgarian split squats as opposed to regular lunges? Yeah, that's normal. A lot of it's about how you're moving your hips, honestly. A lot of people, when they do Bulgarian split squats, their hips go in a perfectly vertical line, and that's wrong. Your hips should go like sink back into the bench, basically. I don't know how to do without. This chair's on wheels, so it's gonna work, but I'll try it. Fuck this. Jesus Christ, this is a dumbass demonstration. So a lot of people, when they do, so a lot of people start leaning forward already. They'll be completely vertical with their torso, and they'll go down like a straight line with their hips, and then they run out of an ankle flexion. So your hips should go back into it and back up. That's what Bulgarian split squat should look like. Boom, boom. But most people do it fucking wrong. That's why balance issues. What do you think about what CT Fletcher said about curling every day for a year to get big arms? For just working your opinion. All I do is lifts every day, so go for it. Caden, what's up? Yesterday, that's how I got it. That working nice. To my left erector with Jefferson's. Would I have my right left leg in front? Yeah, I think no. Hold on. So if you're working your left side, you want your left leg in front, and vice versa. Yeah, just focus on the one side. Too. Great imbalance fixer. Yeah, Jeffersons are really good. I think for athletic development too, Jeffersons are far superior to conventional or sumo deadlift. Is the Brothers in Iron chat annoying? No. I just work, so I don't have time to message you guys all day long. Rumors of Jefferson's help, lower back pain. What do you think about that? I'm sure they would. Yeah, I honestly would think it would. Just fixing imbalances, more natural movement. What's up, Rebecca? It's much more athletic movement than a conventional or sumo deadlift is. Like the stance you use, like the exact same stance you're all often in like sports. If you're like push someone, that's usually the stance you have your feet in. This is better movement, honestly, in my opinion. I wish it was used more. No problem, Harry X. For Bulgarian split squats, does the distance between the legs matter? I don't know if that makes any difference. I mean, the farther away you go, the more hamstring glute you're going to have, the closer they are together, more quad. I usually tell people to do what feels most comfortable. So, can you explain the imbalances on mixed grip deadlift? Example, which side works last? It doesn't make much of a difference with mixed grip deadlifts and stuff, honestly. Like, I never fucking switch, or when I did deadlifts. And typically now, if I'm doing something that requires a mixed grip, I don't switch. Doesn't cause any issues. Is it smart to switch hands from time to time? Probably. But honestly, it doesn't make much of a difference. For the legs, more on Jefferson blocks from the floor and Jefferson's thoughts. So you're probably more upright when you're coming off blocks. That's why I think Jefferson block balls aren't that good of a move. I mean, they're on a bad movement. They're not good for building a Jefferson off the floor, though. Because the lockout of a Jefferson is already pretty fucking easy. It's getting off the floor, that's the issue. They're good for like getting used to heavy weights, but as a Jefferson builder off the floor, Jefferson block pulls aren't very good. Not a bad movement, though. Exactly. So you're more upright when you go off blocks and you squat up more, typically. Alright, you guys got 10 minutes. My friend's going to be here, so I gotta work out. Same with behind the back deadlifts. Like behind the back block pulls don't do much for developing behind the back lifts off the floor. Because again, the lockout's pretty easy on those. It's just getting off the floor is the issue. So, block pulls for regular deadlifts very useful. That's another thing a lot of people do around the triangular deadlift. A 500 beltless ass to grass pause squat would be pretty fucking impressive. The only reason I wanted to focus more on squat is because my deadlift and squat are about 100 pounds difference. Mainly talking about an ass to grass squat. Yeah, I mean, I personally, I think a big squat is way more impressive than a big deadlift. I'm biased because I'm better at squat movements than I am at deadlifting movements, but I think it's more impressive. I think a 1,000-pound squat is way more impressive than a 1,000-pound deadlift. But that should be. Yeah. Back to block deadlifts. The thing a lot of people do wrong is that, especially when they do like above the knee, is that they get under the bar and turn it into like a, I don't know, they're in a different position than they would be when they're deadlifting off the floor if they're like at the same point. So if you're using them to build your deadlift, not as like a trap builder or something, or an upper back builder, treat them as lower the weight, lower your ego, and make sure you're in the same position you would be in a normal deadlift when you're starting a deadlift off blocks or in a rack pull. So you have a lot more carry over your deadlift. What's my squat anyway? Where was it when I last squatted? I don't know. If you look at my channel, you see my recent squats. I did a box squat to parallel, like high fives? I don't know what I got to even. But, so if I were to squat, probably mid-sixes. Like a normal squat. I'm stronger low bar, so probably, I'd say mid-sixes probably. This is all guessing, I don't really know. Top 5 exercises to up the squat. Front squats, talking about back squats, front squats, Zercher squats, Bulgarian split squats. It's 3. Good mornings, depending how you squat a little bit, but good mornings. And I'm gonna say pause squats. It's got cheating, but I'm sure you said you prefer strict press to push press, even though you're interested in athletic-based movements. Can you explain why you prefer strict? I don't necessarily prefer it. There's more skill involved in a push press to get good at it, which is why most people like don't push press much more than they strict press, but you should be able to if you're good at it. So for like the way I train, I try not to do super high skill stuff because I'm not actually maximizing my strength then, I guess you could say. Like, that's why I don't do cleans or snatches, because my technique isn't that great. It'd take a lot of time and practice with technique. And so when I'm maxing out, it wouldn't actually be max effort. It'd be the max I can do with shitty technique, basically. That's what I don't do. That's why I don't necessarily prefer strict press to push press. I can't talk, Jesus. But for my purposes, I don't like it. Is there a big imbalance having greater deadlift than the squat? My deadlift's about 100 pounds more. Most people do deadlift more than they squat. For a long time, I squatted a lot more. I squatted 405 long before I deadlifted 405, I remember. It's not a bad thing to squat more. I feel like Ray Williams, he squats more than he deadlifts. He's squat over 1,000 pounds, but he can't deadlift 1,000. So it depends a little bit on leverages, what your training consists of, but you're definitely not going to get injured. My squat is 315, my conventional deadlift from last time I maxed out was 375. I want deadlifts, but I behind the back 405. As you have better levers for behind the back then, basically. A lot of big guys have bigger squats than deads. Part of it's like where your weight's situated when you're squatting versus deadlifting. Levers, if you're kind of a husky dude, you kind of bounce off yourself more or less, which you can't do in a deadlift. So, I don't know. I real tight hammies, could that be the cause to the imbalance? That probably is. Stretch your hamstrings, do a lot of like one leg, single leg deadlifts, like RDLs, single leg RDLs, help a lot. Why do pause squat make sense and pause deadlifts don't? So pause squat, you're building a bunch of strength out of the hole, which is pretty much where everyone's weak. Pause deadlifts as like a go-to, like they have their purpose, but you have to use significantly less weight for it to be safe. Not significant, but a decent amount less weight to be safe. You're changing the movement pattern a lot, whereas a pause, you're just pausing it and taking the stretch reflex out. When you suddenly pause in the middle of a deadlift, you're changing the movement pattern. You're moving the bar the same direction, but you're putting a pause in the middle of a place where you're not like resting on yourself, or just a midway through the movement makes no sense. Pause deadlifts are fucking dumb. And they're already dead stop, yeah, like Anthony said, they're already dead stop. So, would that mean more necessarily than other? Not necessarily, it could be your glutes too. Stretch your hamstrings, do like the pigeon pose for your glutes, and then do a SI self-adjustment, see if that helps. Is yoga bad for lifters? It depends what yoga you're doing. If you have a good yoga teacher doing smart yoga, no. You're doing like yoga where like the goal is to bend over backwards and touch your heels, that's fucking dumb. I'll just see the Gannon dude do his skeleton. I did not. What happened? All right, 3 more minutes, dudes. I gotta go. My friend's in here. Good question. Quick. 3 minutes. Come on. Let me get some good questions. How to determine parallel box squat height? Put the box on, squat onto it, and see if you're parallel. Ever stalled after 2 or 3 sessions on the lift Wisconsin method? If so, what did you do? Yeah, and that usually means the lift doesn't work with Wisconsin method. So it's like with hip thrusts, stalled after like 1 or 2 or 3 sessions. So there's one that doesn't work. Okay, now is on. You weren't there, motherfucker, last night or 2 nights ago. So I just switched that. It's not a movement that's gonna work with that. I'm sure I feel like it's hard to find a good height for me to squat off a box. Just gotta find a lower box, probably. There's nothing wrong with doing box squats slightly higher, like I did them not too long ago. But yeah, you just gotta find something low enough. Usually like a bench works pretty well, I can move around. Cutting now, should I up the intensity or up the volume? You shouldn't up anything if you're cutting. I burned out on the squats Wisconsin method. Added 40 pounds though. It's pretty good. Good job, Robert. What's up, Parsa? Alright, 2 minutes and I gotta go. So you guys are getting here late. Workout's kicking in. My friend's gonna be here. So the hip needs to go lower than the knees. Or like it doesn't have to be exact. You don't need to be like super stickler about being exact there. But yeah, somewhere around there. Having me on front squats, bad form technique maybe. Could be. Weak upper back usually. Do I play Fortnite? I don't. I didn't download it when it was free. Essentially deadlift 335, a regular 365, pinky on last ring. Okay. Oh, what's wrong? Weak hammies probably, I'd say. If that's actually your snatch grip, like pinky on last ring, that's not really a snatch grip probably. Unless you're short, but probably hammies. Like when I snatch grip, a true snatch grip, I'm like this far away from the collars. Most people call things snatch grip that aren't snatch grip. Which is kind of a pet peeve of mine a little bit. But like your hands should be pretty fucking wide. Like if you stand up with it and it's not in your hip crease, then it's not a snatch grip. I have short ass arms. I'm almost up to the collars. I'm 6'2", but still. Why do lower body lifts get drained so much quicker than upper body ones? They don't, in my opinion. You just gotta man up. Happy Valentine's Day, David. Represent G is just as good as a hyper. They're not any better or worse, they're just different. Alright, last question. Come on. Last one. I go lift. More lunges. I'm upset my hip flexors are like getting pretty bad from doing the chair deadlift, so I was actually worried about injuring myself, so I stopped them. Like it was quite painful. So true squats is only squat variation for time. How to get the strong hammies Louis thinks are so important. They are. Hamstrings and glutes are pretty much everything. If you have strong hammies and glutes, you can do about anything. Let's see. Best way. RDLs. Good morning's probably the best. JJ deadlift. You ran the SI joint thing. Pain is exactly on my spine to the right of it. Something like, no, yep. Look up SI joint self-adjustment on YouTube. Everyone should do it. Some people don't, if you're not presenting issues yet, you might eventually. Check it out. There's super easy to do. You can't fuck it up, so can't make it worse. There's really a big difference between low and high bar. Not really. Involvement though. Box squats, Rebecca. Box squats. Focus on the squeeze. I gotta go. My friend's here. I'll see ya later. I prefer high bar. I'm stronger low bar.